So this just recently came out, and it is about a young man by the name of Alton Sterling. It was reported that there are going to be no charges in the 2016 fatal police shooting of this young man. And so this article is under BBC News, US and Canada. And so you see, this is pictured here. This is where the shooting took place. So it goes on to talk about the two white officers who shot and killed a Louisiana black man in 2016 will not face any criminal charges, officials say. So Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry said the officers acted reasonably under existing law and were justified in their use of force. So there was video footage appearing to show the officers holding down Alton Sterling. He was 37 years old at the time. As one fired his gun, it sparked days of protest in Baton Rouge. The U.S. Department of Justice came to a similar conclusion last May. Federal officials said that there was insufficient evidence to show that Alton Sterling's civil rights had been violated. So Mr. Landry said on Tuesday police would still consider other disciplinary actions against those two officers. They go by the name of Howie Lake and Blaine Salamone for Alton Sterling's death. So I know that the Sterling family is hurting. This is quoted. I know they may not agree with this decision, Mr. Landry said at a news conference after meeting Alton Sterling's family. So it's funny because they have his name, Alton Sterling, but they said it's the Alton Sterling family. So why do U.S. police kill unarmed black men? These are in bullets, and there are questions raised. Cases where U.S. police have faced charges over killings. So these are different titles of incidences that are similar. U.S. police, we are not punching bags. So these are some other articles that are highlighted in, and they have bullets in the article. So they're similar to the incident that occurred. And so he also said that new videos would be released that have yet to be made public. They took a human away. They took a father away. Quintella McMillan, the mother of Alton Sterling's oldest son, told reporters, "When I see the video, I see the dad of my son killed in cold blood." So there's a video here. Okay, and underneath it has pinned down and shot in Louisiana. So this was Alton Sterling. So I'll keep reading the article and then I'll go back up to the video. So it says that the two officers were responding to reports of a man threatening people with a gun outside of a grocery store on July 5th, 2016. They had first used non-lethal methods to subdue Alton Sterling, including a stun gun, police said. So he was then shot dead as he tried to pull a loaded gun from his pocket, according to the police. Officer Salamone shot him while Officer Lake helped Officer Salamone pin him down, but did not fire his weapon, authorities say. So the incident was caught on a mobile phone footage and quickly spread online. Of course it did. It went like wildfire. Went viral. So toxicology and urine test results released on Tuesday showed Anton, now they say Alton Sterling, tested positive for cocaine, methamphetamine, opioids, and other drugs at the time of his death, according to a report released by Mr. Landry's office. And so I'm going to stop for a moment. The initial incident that occurred, from what I saw, is that it looked like he was trying to, I don't know if this is the same incident where he was trying to sell something outside of the store. I might have this confused with another incident. So let me go on. But according to them, they said he had cocaine, methamphetamine, opioids, and other drugs in his system at the time. But I don't know what that has to do with them shooting him dead like that. That's my opinion. I wouldn't think that you would feel like you had to take it upon yourself to shoot somebody that many times, or at least that it was two of them against him. So the Louisiana prosecutor said the results could indicate that Sterling was under the influence and it contributed to his non-compliance, of course. The report also revealed that Alton Sterling had been shot 6 times, including 3 times in the chest. Yeah, because they usually shoot several times, not once or twice, several times is what I recall. And there's more to the story. So there's been so many police shootings, that you almost are starting to get to the point where we can't keep track of whom's whom, just by face and name. So after the shooting, officers removed a handgun from his pocket, according to Mr. Landry's office. This was the Baton Rouge protests, if anybody does not remember. This young lady, by the way, she stood forward in her protest, in her way of protest, but she wasn't, I don't think she was put, it was put out there, but it wasn't put out there in the same way that it is with all these other things that are coming up. But Baton Rouge Police Chief Murray Paul said that he planned to release footage from the officers' body cameras as well as from store surveillance cameras, which has not been made public. So he also said that he wants to complete a disciplinary process for the 2 men who had been on paid leave since 2016 shooting. At the time of Alton Sterling's death, a series of fatal police shootings involving African Americans has sparked a debate about police use of force. There were nearly 200 arrests during the protest over Alton Sterling's death, which preceded a turbulent couple of weeks of U.S. race relations. So Tuesday announcement came, and the same day, California's Attorney General said that his office would be investigating the fatal shooting of the unarmed man whose phone was apparently mistaken by officers for a gun. So that is the one shooting that happened in Sacramento, more recent, which was just a few days ago. So these are some other articles that are related to it. Police video shows unarmed man shot dead. This has got to be the one for Sacramento, a protest over police shooting shut down NBA arena. Yeah, it's the one about Stephen Clark. So Stephen Clark was shot dead in his grandmother's backyard during a police chase in Sacramento earlier this month. And so the latest police shooting sparked local protests blocking the motorway and shutting down the basketball arena. And so this is pretty much the whole article. So it shows some historical footage. And so this right here, I was going to play.
Today, right now, you have more power at your fingertips.
This is a commercial
that came before you. It's not really about what technology can do. It's about what you can do with it. We are living in the future we always dreamed of. We have mixed reality that changes how we see the world, and AI empowering us to change the world we see. So what will you do with it?
He was pinned down here and he was gunned down. Now here it says his name is Alton Sterling. Police were called after reports of a man threatening the police with a gun, people with a gun outside. (1,152) people killed. 30% of the victims were Black. 13% of the U.S. population. That's a lie. 97% of those deaths didn't result in any charges against the police officers. That's true. Family told reporters that they want to know why he was killed. Stop killing us. Department of Justice has launched a civil rights investigation into the shooting. Okay, so that was just some quick footage. And here we'll go back up here to the actual place where the killing took place. And so it's a sad situation. I paused for a moment looking at this, and they so this is the article. It's in BBC. It's Alton Sterling, no charges in the 2016 fatal police shooting. And this was less than 4 hours ago, 3 hours ago, actually, that this article was placed in the news. And so it's a sad situation once again, but this is something that unfortunately in the Black community we're all very used to seeing happen, where innocent Black males are targeted and shot and killed, and they don't ask any questions, they don't pull ID, they don't at least pin them down and get ID from them and ask questions. It's just, let's just shoot and kill. And so we are all very familiar with this practice. And it's always stated, well, we thought he was reaching for something, or it looked like he had a gun, or it looked like the shape of a gun. Anything that they can say to clean their story up, which they sound like excuses, because the real reason why they shoot these males is because they're Black. And there's an intent to demonize and to over police and to brutally, fatally over police African American communities and kill at will. Shoot first and don't ask questions at all. And reading the rights never comes into play, because by the time they're done, you're not alive to even hear your rights be read to you. So this is the sentiment that has occurred all over across the country in African American communities, that our lives don't count. The lives of others count. The lives of people who are not African American or not Black, those lives are more valuable than Black lives. Why is this? Our fathers, their sons, their brothers, their cousins, their uncles, that you are taking away from families. You are basically murdering innocent people based on we thought, or he looked like, or it was the shape of, or we speculated or we thought or we were unclear, we couldn't see. When it's those situations like that, there's no excuse for murder whatsoever. When you have several officers, even in foot pursuit of one individual, once you've why do they even shoot as many as times as they shoot? They shoot not once or twice, but like we heard with Stephen Clark, he was shot and gunned multiple times, 20 times. He was more than dead. It's as if they're making sure that you don't get up and talk. You are dead. And so by the time they discover that you don't have a knife or a gun, you can't fight in your defense to say anything because you are now dead. And so this is what we have been seeing all too often. And now it's become, ever since the Rodney King beating got caught on tape and they had that riot, now the trend is let's get back all of the frustration and anger we had based on all of those people in the uproar during the 92. Let's get our get back. It's like a payback in a bad way. And it's not at all justifying anything but evil. That's all it is. And to me, I feel like there's some collusion, there is some corruption that is going on in police departments with certain individuals. It may not be everyone, but certain ones are culprit of this culture that African Americans are to be outlawed in the US. So like, comment, and subscribe. Give me your thoughts and your feelings on this issue. And this is an open forum and it has much to be discussed. There should be a lot more that should be done about this because what I'm seeing, this is going to create another climate of and distrust within the Black community and even outside the Black community. There's distrust in police and law enforcement with other groups now that we're seeing what we're seeing. And so it doesn't build, trust in communities that are poor and people don't have a lot to begin with. But if you create this climate of fear where people are afraid to call law enforcement, there's going to be a lot of things that could go crazy in neighborhoods where nobody will call because they're afraid they're going to get gunned down by police or they're going to be accused of something they didn't do. And so it doesn't build any trust. It actually creates more barriers and walls. And so like, comment, subscribe, give me your thoughts and feedback on this issue. It's sad and it doesn't look good at all. And I don't even want to be the predictor of this, but I'm saying that this doesn't look like this is going to end soon. But I do know that this could turn into something really bad later down the road, or maybe sooner. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for listening.